collaboration opportunities for omnichannel and supply chain. Big mouthful. A lot of what we talked about was the behaviors of the shoppers in 2020 is going to be around that millennial behavior, right? How do you balance what the millennials want when it comes to a digital experience that's a little disconnected from the store, so not necessarily coming in, with our other generations that still want that touch and feel? So what is the fulfillment proposition, if you will, and how do we get, I guess, more efficient at that? Because the struggle is, do they really want same day? Who's driving that? Is it Amazon that's created that? Do customers really expect that? And if they do, how are we all going to be on the roadway, the motorway at the same time? We just can't. So are there ways that we can start to collaborate? And I loved some of the questions of who's going to be first, or who's going to push the agenda in the UK and in Europe to share assets. Because there seems to be this lack of desire to do that, whether it's a lack of trust, a lack of thinking that there's a real opportunity for brand protection, or my product protection, or the experience all the way to the last mile to my customer that I don't want to give up. But at some point there's an inflection point where we have to make a decision. So how could we collaborate more with our assets, our fleet, logistics, warehouses, even our people through peak times? So I think there's that discussion around the Uberization, if you will, of the last mile delivery, and how can I take advantage of other opportunities to get product to customer quicker, but also recognizing that in some geos, in some geographies, customers just know they're not going to get it same day. So if you're way up in the north of Scotland, you just know that's not going to happen, so it's not an expectation. So can I have a non-omnichannel, a different experience depending on where customers are? Well, along with that, we talked about the value of click and collect and that halo effect, and how many are seeing that it truly is providing an uplift in sales. And it doesn't have to be just your own products. So can I start to partner with other smaller retailers or with the marketplaces, pure play online, and start to do a click and collect for those who do not have stores? And is that a good value proposition or not? I think the overall thought on the teams was that yes, it increases foot traffic, it increases the amount of spend that consumers are doing in the store. However, there's a price to pay for that. So if you're going to have to hold items that you don't normally hold, if you've got associates that may not necessarily be excited or inspired to be spending their time giving products to a customer that they didn't sell, how do you make that be a valuable proposition? But the reality is consumers are expecting it. So how do we find that inflection point of where we can give what consumers need? So, and a piece of that was also around the analytics at the end of the day. How do I make a decision? I've got to know through whether it's isolated testing of different approaches to see what consumers are asking for, to take that data, or even just asking for it along the route, so that I can make sure that I'm providing what consumers are asking for in a very demanding climate we're in, but also banding together a little bit and saying together as retailers we can help drive consumer choice, because together, even though we're all trying to differentiate, we're not necessarily competing. If we collaborate more together, we can all win. And I think that was kind of the primary discussion points that came through for Ian and I at our table.